We are doing a lot of like just the basic stuff. So it's like about paddling around 420 to 440, like in the winter, 80% or 90% of the week. Not to go fast and just to try to go as strong as you can every stroke. And at least this is maybe a secret why we also get better at the season, like from competition to competition. Like there are some nations which are like good in competition in the first one and also the second, and then they crash. No, I forgot the answer. But yeah, okay. And for me, it was also like I had a good coach when I started with kayaking. He mixed up us like a lot, like different boats, sitting in the front, sitting in the back, like changing like with boys and girls together and everything. So we are really used to it to have changes in the boat and to get used to it to the changes and to be like not only the kayaker in the K1, so to also are like trying to race in the team boat, and maybe this is secrets or this is secret. This is a secret which I like still using like from the past years. So now it's like all the time one board or not that much anymore, but when we were younger we really focused on mix up the boards, like not only the K1. So like, even if they always put you at least not that strong guy in the back or in the front, but you have to work with it. You're getting used to different like skills. Maybe you're not really seeing the skills, but you can feel them maybe some days or years later.
Any questions?
I have a question. What do you stay motivated, like, after so many years of hard training?
Um, at the moment, it's like coming back to the family day by day in the evening or like after the training in the morning. Like, you also feel better if you have a like hard session done. You could do like it's done in the schedule, but I always like focus not on the long term, let's say, like on all the years and all the success. It's more about the smaller goals. So now I had a year not in the K4 and maybe the first year without medal, like so far, since 30 years. And I want to change this, not to add a new medal to the table, but I want to be back on the podium or in the K4. So that's the smaller goal, and then there are even smaller goals. For now, it's during the holiday and enjoying the holiday. But then maybe change some things in the first month of the training of October, and let's see what happened until then. And then it's the first training camp in November. So it's at least there are smaller steps than the big goal, like going to the national team or going to the world championships. It was always to do one step more. So in the beginning I had no medal, or I felt in the water before the finish line. So the next time it was like stay in the boat until I crossed the finish line. And then I crossed the finish line in fifth place or something like that. But I want a medal. So then I get a medal the second place, but then I trying to like get the gold. That's what the steps are like done, and I think that's a good, or for me, recently it seems to be a good strategy.
Excellent. Awesome. Always have goals. Bigger and bigger and more. Next question.
Can I ask, is there any difference for how you focus on your technique between the K1, K2, and K4?
I think the technique gets a bit different because in team mode you have to act faster than in the K1, but it even helps you to get faster in the K1. So because you train much more on the higher speed, and in the K1 you're not able to go that high speed that much time. So it even helps you to go in the K2, for example, in the lower pace session. It helps you for the K1 to train your stroke, to train your strong stroke. So yeah, that's the most important thing to the K4, that you have less time, but you have to put more energy than like in every stroke to get the boat forward or to help the other guys.
Are you going to join us in this? But question was about technique in single and team boards. It's okay. Let's wait for that. Okay, let's wait for the next question. Ready? Okay, then our last one from both of you. Could you describe a training day for you? One is during the preparatory phase, far away from the competition, like how your day looks like or will look like when you were training. So Dory and Tom, I mean, they're both exceptionally good athletes, and I just want to show you that there are many ways of achieving that, and they will share their way of our training day.
Okay, so in Europe we have a little different weather. So far away from the races, we have like winter or cold weather, and in Hungary we don't even paddle in winter. So we have like running, swimming, gym, ergometer, and it's quite different from the preparation for the races. So the cross preparation, we do go to training camps, so we can paddle some weeks in the winter, but not the whole winter long. And in Germany it's a bit different because they're also paddling in winter. I mean in 2 Celsius degrees, and yeah, it's very hard. But so to take one day, I used to get up like at 7 and 8:30 or 9 the first training. Let's take a swimming. After that, rest, lunch. After nap, 2 more sessions, one gym and one running. And in the evening, the dinner, and going to bed like 9 p.m. So I needed much sleep to be fit for the next day after I had a day of training. And before races, close to the races, we usually had less training to get prepared for the races and not to be too tired. It was like having 2 or 3 sessions a day, 2 paddling and 1 running or 1 short gym session.
Thank you for sharing. Can you share the prayer? Because when you were studying as well, so how did you cope with that? So I think it's important to share.
Yeah, sure. That was my last year. Before the Olympics, I was studying, but not every day. I was doing my university studies on a remote semester, so I could study or learn the stuff as I had time. I mean, between trainings or after nap time. And as I was in school, it was like I had not every day training in the morning, if I had, it was before school, so at like 6 a.m. And after that, I went to school. I did school like every other student. I didn't have any sports school or something like that. It was normal school and then the gymnasium, high school. And after school, I went to training. And after training, I had time to do the homework. But I always had to do the homework very fast because I didn't have that much time. And I knew that if I can't do the school, then my parents are going to say, no, school is first. And then if you are good at school, then you can go to training. Fortunately, it was never the case that I was not allowed to go to training. I was really hardworking and determined that I am doing the school, so I will go to training because I just like going to training and it was really my life. I was not going out that much. I really wasn't like I'm going out every weekend. I did meet friends, I think it's important, but not every day.
Stories, school background. So she was studying university in Austria, in Germany is Hungarian. So imagine that a university degree in a foreign language.
And then even the marriage in the orange language, so in German. For me, it was a bit different. We also have a different system, so we train not 2 sessions, or like basically 2 sessions a day, we train 4 sessions. But at least we are at the same level at the end at the World Championships. So even if you have only time for 1 session a day or like 2 sessions a week, it doesn't mean that you are just like, for example, I do 20 sessions, you're only doing 2 sessions. It doesn't mean that you're only 10% of the performance of my performance. I think it does matter more how you use the time which are you in the training and the quality of the training. So for me, it was the day in the school. It was like training in the morning from 7 to 9. Then we had school from 10 till 3 in the evening, and we had back training from 4 to 6 or something like that. But now, since 12 years, I'm more or less a professional athlete, and we have 2 sessions in the morning, then the lunch break, and after that 2 more sessions in the evening. So like it's basically all the time like a training camp, even when I like stay at home. Yeah, and I try to study, but it doesn't work that well. Yeah, but it was at the end, like what I learned is like, or I don't know, if you have the chance, or if you like what Doris said, if like I think you can do both, but it just matter how hard you like try to get it, or like try to like take it. And if you have the chance to do both, you should do both, not like me, basically. And it's possible. You can see it like on the career of Doris.
So just one follow-up question on this. How long time did you stop for your major exam in high school or JC, AHE? How long did you? I mean, it's a tricky question because I think it's not too long. But just here in Singapore, I see it's a big deal. Like, so just before your final exam, I'll translate for you, like high school. Please.
That's a good question. I was racing at the World Cup the day before my final exam started. So it was like no stop. I wanted to go to the World Cup. I wanted to use this chance. And I was like, okay, I was prepared. I was studying and learning for that every day in school. And it, so I had a very good final exam. It doesn't depend on it if you start 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, because you are studying or learning for this the whole semester, the whole year. And I think it's even good if you are not just focusing on one thing, but you can switch. And if you can do this switch, you will train this in the semester, and it's good for the exams. So you are not like 1 week before the exam and just like excited and I can do anything else because I'm just focused on the exam. But yeah, now I have this 2, 3, 1 hour. I don't care how long. It's my training session. I don't care about anything else. I know it's my time for training. I do the best of it.
And at least if you have a bad time in the or in the preparation for the exam and you're really feeling bad, you can put it out in the training. And maybe in the training there are coming ideas which you don't have like after 3 hours on like having their eye on the papers and didn't see the solution. And then you're paddling like just like 1 hour going and then you're like having so much more ideas because you like see you had a different angle like on the things. So for me it helps a lot sometimes. Like I was like having the lunch break, like preparing for the exams, and like I was like doing the exercises for 2 hours and nothing happened really, just feel sleepy. And then I do the session and there the ideas came. So the change is sometimes important. And I also had the exams like 2 days after the important competition. And the competition is maybe only half a day or like 2 hours or something like that. And if you talk recently to the coach and say, okay, that's an important exam or something like that, I feel pretty bad and not well prepared. So you can maybe find some other solutions to just go running for half an hour and come back to the exercise, not only pedaling, but maybe sometimes running is also fine. So you can find a solution to stay like in the training to not feel bad for your performance in canoeing. So if you're really focused on canoeing and then you just focus on the exams and not doing the kayaking or canoeing for the next 2 months, you're also like feeling bad about your career in kayaking or canoeing. So because you didn't train, or I don't know, you didn't train at all, but if you stay or keep fit, like you didn't also the bad feeling did rise in your head that you are like might be start in 2 months in a bad shape. You know that the shape will be not the best, not like before the exams, but it will be like basically okay because you did 2 or 3 times a week, just half an hour or something, and keep it consistently normal, I say. And don't gain too much weight because in the in the in the preparation for the exam, sometimes you get hungry more than normal, and I also got problems with the weight. Like it's possible that I know that problem.
Anyone?
I think for both of you, the audience generally very young. Yeah, some of us are much older. Maybe can share like maybe what's different with how you were as an athlete in your 20s as compared to now. Like what has changed, what approaches has changed to make you stay up to shape now your better performance. Yeah, I mean, especially after the report, then you're still pro. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so after giving birth as that therapy, as a professional level, but I'm still trying to do as much sport as possible because on the one hand it's fun, on the other hand it's of course healthy. And so I'm maybe talking about the mental side of the things, but I see at Tom's preparation that before the kids in his 20s, it was his number one priority to have training, and everything was built about training, and really it was like his life, training, training, training. And now it's more like a mixture, and I am proud to say that his family is number one now, and he is even able to maintain his level in sport. So you saw him last year on the Olympics, and he got like 2 years before, so he wasn't sleeping a lot. He couldn't always train that much, but if he had something, he went there as a father, and he didn't say, no, I can't, I have training. And I think mentally, he's very strong. So, okay, one thing. But on the other hand, he knew, okay, now it's more important that I'm there for my family, and after that, I'm going to training, and maybe I have 1 hour less for the training, but then I give my best, and I try to achieve it in 1 hour. It's like quality he already mentioned, and that's one thing. And the other thing, he has the years of experience, so he knows how to do things. And in his 20s or as a teenager, he was really training like crazy, and now he is able to use his experience and the years and the craziness he had for the more fine-tuning. So there is a big difference between the 20s and his 30s, even though it's only 2 years that he's in his 30s. But yeah, there is a lot of difference and changing. But I think sport can teach you to be able to adapt to these changes. And maybe from year to year, you don't realize that how much change. But if you ask this question, and I think about how it was 10 years ago or 8 years ago, as I was sitting here in Singapore with, I think, mostly other students, because we are all very young. But we were learning about similar things, but from another perspective.
Yeah, I think the most or the point is the story already mentioned. To have the experience, to know what you have to do, like in the penalties. But yeah, sometimes you also have to listen to the coach. Like there were like stiff. No, like that was also an important thing. So I really tried to do, or I really tried to be as much as I could, or help my family also on the nights, all the night long. Luckily, I love coffee. But sometimes the coach said, okay, maybe, yeah, you have a lot of experience, if you are old, and we know that you will do it, but you have to pay attention about that. And what I really want to say is, like, in sports, we also learn how to work with schedules. And that's a skill we can, that's a skill we can really use, like, all the life and even later in the athlete's life, to set goals and to try to do a schedule for that goals. Not only in sport, also in studies, also like in family plans or whatever. Like, what are you doing? Like buying a new phone, or yeah, getting more pocket money or whatever. We are used as an athlete. We are used to work on goals and to set it more, to put it in a plan. and working for it day by day and step by step. I think that's something I more realize when I'm getting older. And that's sometimes also the problem that I'm getting a bit more like familiar to like see what the kids are doing and just enjoying it. But to didn't find the switch on the water to be as much as aggressive to other guys because they are pretty young and they just want to push against each other. And now I try to, or I'm more like trying to be like get the team, like everybody is like fine to each other. But it's sport you also have to, or you have to push each other on the water. And if you go on land, like it's changing. You have to be like, you have to set the goal on the water. We can also shout about each other if it's not stupid, but then we go on the land as a friends. And yeah, that was a bit much more in the younger ages. So I have to use it maybe a bit more in the next times, but as a father, changed a lot.
I'm agree. So maybe a bit off topic, your question, but I'm realizing now as being a mother that how much I learned from being a sports woman. And maybe now you don't realize it, but you learn so much from this. So hardworking, being able to adapt to things, to work for your aids, for your girls, to have goals, and with the time, and you will realize, okay, I can do this. I learned it. I don't know when, but I'm able to do this, even if it's another part of life, like getting a job or doing an exam. Yeah, I'm used to this. I can go with this cycle, and it's actually it doesn't matter if you are a world-class elite sports athlete or just doing it for fun, but not maybe more than hobbies, so you have little boards. But it doesn't matter if you are Olympic champion or Singapore champion or anything sport champion. If you are working for your goals, you can learn so much from it. So really keep on pushing.
Thank you very much for this. This edition was, I think, very, very important. I wanted to ask a follow-up question, but you answered that question already. So thank you for that. Anyone? We'll go to everyone, don't worry.
Hi, so I know that your training load is probably very, very high. Probably train 3 times, 4 times a day. So my question is, what do you eat in a day? Like, surely you can't eat a whole chicken every day, right? Like, is there any secret to your nutrition?
So at least I'm happy that when I come home, the lunch is already done and on the table. Or like, Dori tries to help me now in the past years to prepare the meals and to also get them healthy because I'm not really, sometimes not mentally really strong about just the healthy food. I really love chocolate and gummy bear and everything. So, but I learned a lot. So, like leaving the soft drinks and just keep water, maybe like 4 or up to 6 liters per day. Like to not like if you get hungry, just take a glass of water before and check if you are still hungry or not. And maybe eat not too late in the evening. Like with kids, we are eating normally at 5 in the evening and then going to bed maybe for 2, 3 or 4 hours. But then the body's like still like got the meal done and I'm not eating at 10 and go to bed at 10:30. Then the meal stays like in the body and has to like work on it otherwise, well, sometimes, yeah, the recovery can lower. So it's not really a secret. So I also eat chocolate a lot, but I try to start to eat less chocolate for like 1 week, like when I was younger, or try to switch the cereals to oats, and then try to switch the milk with the oats to just hot water with oats, like to get less calories or something like that. So it's just small steps and not like changing all the things, and just in the beginning maybe a few days before the competition, and then it gets more and more. So this time it was like 4 months, no soft drinks, and all the like it's still on. So like for example, so I more experienced I am, the longer I put the things, or the longer I use the experience. Of course, like at the end, when we have like a lot of training, I also put some homies or something like that between the meals or between the training sessions to eat not that much chicken, or otherwise like you get like basically if you get hungry, it's still too late. Like when you get hungry, like there's something missing in the body, so you have to like check maybe what's the food or what is not good at all in the food. But I really like to be Asia, because it's always healthy. Like the rice and the vegetables, and eating with sticks, you can't eat so fast and you can't eat so much. So I'm always getting good in shape here in that part of the world. So I really love the food. So it's from that side, it's everything set for a good performance.
Thank you for your sharing. Do you prefer the standard K1C or the rotating K1C to maximize the hip rotation, or the high back seat to make it harder to rotate the hip? And is it different between K1, K2, and K4?
Actually, I have the really basic one. So it's not. It's like I think it's 0-0 and not high in the back, or it's not a rotating seat. It's the only change I do from the K1 to the T-board is like putting something. I don't know. To put something on the seat that it's not sliding anymore at the T-board, that you are not moving that much at the T-board, that you're moving a bit less to get the stability a bit higher. But the other things, I don't use the rotating seat, because if you use that, you're not really using it to get like to. I think it's the when you're having a rotation or rotation seat, it's the connection is a bit less to the boat. I can't feel anymore how the boat is moving, but that's my opinion. So I know that a lot of people like the rotation seat, but I think you also can rotate on a seat which is a bit slippery, but not too much. And then you really feel where the boat is going and how the movement is. And yeah, it's all possible. So I just use a seat like that, maybe a bit more rounded on the sides. Yeah, just normal. And then I get like it took some years to get the centimeters of the distance between the footrest and the seat. What I had in my pedal, I just like in every boat or every boat I get, I just put the pedal in to the footrest, and then check I have for my markers for the heads. I have just two fingers next to the marker, and then there must be the seat, and that's my perfect setup. And I always have my paddle with me, so that's the measurement I always have. And I don't like everybody's like confusing why I'm going in a chip board, and the setup is like working from the first time. I said, yeah, I do it a lot of times, and I really like this stove. When I try it 3-4 times, it doesn't run out. So I found a solution for me. The pedal is always with me, and the two fingers as well. So I will always know how the distance is like fine for me.
Thank you for sharing this secret. Anyone?
Hello. So like, what's your mindset when you're not training? Like, are you thinking about your paddling, or you purposely telling yourself to focus on other things to take your mind off training?
That's a good question. So sometimes I have to get off the training and the canoeing and everything. Sometimes when the coach is talking to me and says, "Oh, okay, come on, the performance is not that good at the moment. I maybe have to focus a bit more on the quality. So I have to think a bit more on the training and the canoeing." And I would say, at the moment, or with the family of the training, it's less thinking about the training. I see, but before it was really focused on the training, on the technique, on everything. And now it's much more like to trust coach, like what he says, like every session. So I come into training and I had a family before, like be together, and I was not thinking about the times and everything. But I come to the training and the coach says like, come on, today it's not good. Do that or that, and I'm not like when you're younger, you say, okay, come on, I know better, or I have at the moment, I know I watched the videos 10 times of this guy, and he's totally doing different, and you are like, it's not good, but now I trust him 100% and say, okay, you see me every day, like from that perspective, and I really trust you, and it's your kind of training or performance. What I'm doing in the boat, he's off the boat and he's giving to me, so I don't have to think the coach's perspective. Because if I do that, I would have not the 100% for paddling. I just have the 95% for paddling and the 5% to checking if the coach is right or not. Related to other kayaking videos or athletes, it doesn't matter. You have to trust the plan, and then it's getting also easier for you because you have more energy to pedal faster.
Have you had an important message here? Trust the coach.
What's your experience with burnout and how do you manage it?
So until yet we didn't have like burnout or something related like that. But sometimes we like actually felt tired as well, like of sessions we have done 100 times before. But then we try to keep the focus maybe on other things, or just to meet friends which are not in canoeing, in which are like giving you the feeling that it's not all about canoeing, it's important, but just talk maybe 1 hour about things which are not related to canoeing, and then you maybe change the perspective even like faster than you would have before. Like you just stay in your canoeing friends bubble. Let's say. So that's just that advice without any experience about pedal.
Next question. Second question again, advice.
So I was just how do you recover during the competition season? Is there anything additional to your recovery that's unique?
As I already mentioned, it's of course the food, and this is related to the sleeping hours, how fast you can get to bed or like get an important sleep. But at least it is sleep. So if you're like sleeping minimum 8 hours, it's always good. Like if you're sleeping just 5 hours, it's maybe not the best. Even if you're used to it and feeling good, it's much better to have 8 hours and to put the phone away like for the past or for the last. We start with 10 minutes and then 15 minutes and then half an hour. Just read the book or like talk about something or I don't know, let's play a game in the training camp. That's sometimes you get faster in the sleep because like I know how hard it is to stay away from social media, but it just influences you and gives you more ideas maybe about things which you are not used to it, or yeah, you see your competitors which are like putting up the videos, they are looking much stronger, better, whatever, but that's social media. So I would not ever put the video on Instagram or something like that where my technique is looking bad and everything. So just putting a good things in that. So that's also like sports that changed a lot in the past 10 years. 10 years before, like, we didn't care about the other competitors. I was just thinking in the winter times, okay, on some other parts of the world, there's always consistent temperature and they can always train high on a high level. You know, I know in Singapore it's always 29 or 30 degrees and they can train all the day, but I really remember when there are like 0 degree in Germany and I have to train in winter time. So there's here some guys which can like still train on conditions and that keeps me up in the head. Yeah, try to stay sometimes ready from all the messages on Instagram, or check it maybe from another side. Uh, yeah, try to set your times or minutes on the social media and yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Hi Tom. You are known to be successful in all distances, 200, 500, 1000. Do you believe there is a certain like talent required for each distance? And also like how important is gym training, like strength, to you?
So for example, I know that the Hungarians maybe and they like for some groups of them, they're doing much more or less gym training in the summertime than the Germans. So, but they are faster in the competition. So I can't say like there's one way which is the best. So we are doing a lot of gym and try to have like a powerful stroke. Maybe it was good that I also can move fast, but I also can like move hard, or let's like have the endurance or the I don't know the ability to suffer a bit. Um, yeah, at least I'm always happy when I have less distance than 200 on the race, and that's why I'm going hard as well or as hard as I can in the past meters, because I'm always happy that that the end is already coming or like already. So that's why or like the finish looks maybe sometimes stronger than others, because try to split the races or the race or the distance like in different parts of the race.
Thank you. Next question. Anyone? Only. I didn't tell you that at the start, but you can only go home after you ask your question. So if not, you stay in.
What are some valuable investments that you can make canoeing?
The QR code is there, so.
So, of course, you need a kayak and a paddle. And I think it's important to have a good coach so you can follow your performance. And for me, it's also important to have a good sun blocking sunglasses, a hat, some clothes. So maybe now you won't think she's so old, she's doing something like that. But maybe I'm old. Now I know my mom was right. She always wanted us to wear some looking stuff. And it's also important to stay hydrated. So maybe some electrolytes or something like that for the training. And I think with good nutritional foods, you can be okay at the beginning. Maybe later you have some specialists for this reason. And I also like going to the physiotherapy. And it helped me always a lot. And what's important as well is to be able to participate on all kind of trainings like swimming, running, gym. You don't have to have your own equipment at home. You just have to come to the training and do it on the training. So I think these are the most important, but maybe there are some more little tasks which are important, Tom.
Yeah, as Lori said, the last point I see as important to use the time, put up the quality high, and then everything else will come. So my parents already always say, like, if you want to have a good boat, like you have to be fast, and they will give you a good boat. Yeah, something like that. So just as first use the time which you're getting for the training, which is like what is the coach invest in you, and also your parents maybe for bringing you to the training or picking you up, and then you're just relaxing in the training. It doesn't make any sense. So just like try to keep the time or the quality high at the time.
So it's not about the money what you can buy. You can buy this food or this food. Just invest your time and your willingness. Yeah. So it's upon you, not on the quality of the boat. And maybe it's funny with Kira, but we would like to ask you not to try to post other pictures and videos with us, maybe without the kids if it's possible, please.
Next question.
How do you find time to do like other stuff, especially in like training is until very late?
So, yeah, that's a good question, but at least that's the decision you have made. So, like, if you're like, you go to kayaking or going to the training because you want to be the best in the sport, or you like the sport, and at one point you like to be the best in the sport, so you have to or make a decision what is more important and what's the thing you maybe have to what's the thing you have less time for. It's maybe friends, it's maybe family, it's maybe like whatever, or like playing video games, but maybe you can do it later or just enjoy the time more efficient, like the training, like put up the quality high and just do everything lazy. So just stay in the time and enjoy and use the time like as much as you can. Of course, there are also days and training which are not good and like which are like could be better, but keep them not more than the trainings which are good. So the relation also always has to be like in the right numbers.
And maybe try to have fun at training. So maybe the other kids, you can get in a good relationship, be friends. So then we can have fun at training, so you don't have to go out one more time.
Exactly what I wanted to suggest. So have friends in training. If you want to meet your friends and you want to train, you have friends in training.
Hi, Tom and Dora. Can I ask, before you hit your good timings in competition, do you know you already were gonna hit them, or you wouldn't have known until the day itself? Because maybe during your trainings you were doing less distance, maybe like 900 meters, 800 meters, 400 meters. Then you only could go to competitions to find out, or you have already hit those timings before, and then competition is just the time for you to show those timings. Thank you.
So Tom is a 110% good competitor. I think, I don't know his times, but he's training on a river, so he can't even always do the race course like a race pace. But I know that if he's at the race, then he is going to do his 110%. So I don't think he's usually doing a world record of training. And for me, my first big success was a surprise. But in canoeing, it's not like you know you have bench lifting, right?
Oh, no.
No, okay, canoeing. You're so excellent. Okay. So you can do like swimming or something like that, that you know exactly that this is the time I can do it. Depends on the wind, on the temperature and everything. So I knew that I was in a good shape, but I didn't expect to win a World Cup. So I think even if you feel like a little bit off some days before the competition, it doesn't mean that you are not good enough.
So have you heard the most important thing that she said in the days before? She already knew that that she was in a good shape. So that's the important thing. She like had good times at training, or she keep up the feeling of the times or of the body or of the connection of the technique good. But therefore you have to do also a high level in the training. It doesn't mean if you're good in the training, you are also good in the competition or the other way, but it keeps the percentage of the, I don't know, the word. Yeah, the possibility, it gets the percentage of the possibility that you will be good also in the competition much more higher if you just be lazy in the training and try to go fast in the competition. It doesn't make sense. So if you put it up high, the percentage of the possibility also gets high. So for me, like I never raised the times or that fast times before in the training, but I even know that I'm in a good shape. So there are some times or some tests we do all the years, and yeah, so I know that the level or the basic level is pretty high. But there was one coach, like he told me in the younger ages, because I was like, we were in a race out competition, and I was like, I'm not feeling good, and like maybe I did too less training. And he said, okay, come on, I'm a bit older, and I can tell you what, that the competition or the performance or the feeling before the competition will be never good. So it's always a bad feeling. Or have you done everything or something like that? It's the race day feeling. You always feel bad, but you just have to do it at that time. And you not have to do 120%, you just have to do the 100%. And then they will come maybe 1% or 2% more. It's a bit about the day, but the more prepared you are, the higher the chances to get a good competition. Even in the hard times, you just ask the coach or talk to the coach, maybe not about the training, about other things, and he maybe have an advice for you if you're younger. Like just if it's not training, if it's something not related to everything, but he's like experience in life, so he can help you in all the things, and that's what I'm always doing, like talking to him to some like totally different things, and just to get a good feeling or talk about other things than kayaking or my performance or my feeling, or and then like the personal well-being is getting higher.
So I'd like to ask, how do you manage high expectations? Yeah, and also if you had a bad day in the race, how do you cope with it mentally?
That's also a good question, because sometimes it works out well, sometimes not. It's a bit about the preparation before. So nowadays the emotions get a bit more higher and lower. I don't know why, but maybe because of the family, because something changed. You have seen so much more than sports, or like, yeah. That's why you have to focus, or I try to focus on the easy things. So not about the big thing, the Olympics. What can you reach if you're racing in Paris? Getting maybe the third medal. So before the race, getting the third medal in a row and the gold. Nobody like did it before, but you can't think about that. So otherwise you would like crash maybe in that situation. So, and even we had a false start. So I was just thinking about, okay, I already had a false start in the training before, or in just junior cup. So I had a false start. We just turn around, go back to the start gate, and use the second chance. And maybe like there are like 8 other K4s or 7. So these are 28 other people. And maybe 20 people of them, they are not used to that situation. And if you're more used to that situation, or just think about smaller races or smaller situations, you're much more prepared and you have like effort before them, or they are in the same situation, but you are like just keep it more simple, or like feeling like a normal race training. So at least try to see not all the happenings. So just divide it or split it in that race in that 1 minute 30 seconds or 20 seconds, and not think about what happens after that. So that's like it's not going all the time well, but yeah, you can try it, and then it's maybe it's not less, or maybe it's not 100% less pressure, but maybe it's just 90 or 5% less pressure. That's still good. It's not 100% of the pressure. So just keep the small steps and try to get a routine. So I always have before the big races, I always have a schedule from wake up until like the alert, the waking up, the going to the toilet, the breakfast, the time of the shuttle or MIT to the race course, the eating preparation, the preparation of the drinkings, the warm up and everything. So I'm just doing the schedule. I'm not thinking about when is the time for going in the boat for the race. I'm just doing like every step by step, and not think about like all the next 3 hours and the race, the biggest race in my life. So just focus on the next 5 minutes, and maybe the next step is the breakfast. So I'm like looking for the breakfast and I'm still trying to be in that moment.
Thank you very much. So stay in the moment. Try to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Any more questions? We will close it soon because I guess the kids are getting tired. So if you want to ask, then ask now. A few more questions. After a few more questions.
Hello. Apart from training and kayaking, what other aspects are we able to find meaning or find joy? Like let's say we are going through an injury and can't paddle, or let's say it's exam season and you also can't paddle. So what are some things that we can have find like have fun when you're doing? Yeah.
That's a good question. So I had an injury before Tokyo. I think 10 months before. I had some broken bones in the back. Not too bad, not with surgery, but it was pretty bad. So I couldn't even get up my underwear alone. So just with a barbecue rack, let's say. But I was like also putting it in steps, in weeks. Like the first week, it was the main goal to get up alone, or to get up my underwear alone, or some small steps like that. And if you can't train, or if you can't pedal, it doesn't mean you don't have the running shoes at home and doing just the 10 minutes running, or 5, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or what's the other things, the moving stairs, or I don't know, like some escalate. Yeah, sometimes I'm getting a bit stupid or mad about here because we have the stroller, and in some MRT stations there are so much people just running in the elevator, and you didn't look around for us with the stroller, and we can't walk the 3 or the 3 stages, and they're just running in the elevator for for once there, and I'm getting really mad about it. And so then there are small things you can change. For example, at the lunchtime they had a nap in the hotel, and Kira was sleeping, and I just put her next to the gym or next to the indoor bicycle, and I went on the indoor bicycle because I was like, okay, it was there. I can't go running because the stroller is not for running. So I just take the bike and I just try to move a bit. That's things you can do, but then you also have to come back and focus on carrying. So I don't want to lose the goal or the main goal too much. But you can always like doing some things, even if they're not 100% sensible. But yeah, I always taking stairs. I hate using the elevator, but now it's necessary. But I always use the stairs because of that. Because I say, okay, these are like small. This is small movement. I have to do it, so I can use it as well as a like little exercise. And I maybe can eat a piece of chocolate more. Like,
See, Olympic champion uses all the opportunities to train, even making this best.
Alright, so I was wondering if you could handle on the above first. If you don't mind. I was reading Oh, it's a genuine question.
you're all excited, but you don't say that I should go fast. So just sit on the elevator.
So what's your question? I just want to see you better.
Yes, the last question.
Maybe if you do a 200 free. That's so much. It's so like I try to focus to have something like there. Like for example, the lady now with the phone is like really the high I need for the hands for the head. Don't go too much down. So keep the head up. That's a show. So getting some point there and try to get up the technique, the outside, try to rotate a bit more. Because you can fall in, you can try things, reduce the rotation and work more the body and the arms. And at home I also have what is it? A mirror to check the technique directly. Yeah. So that's a quick thing I use. And I actually have a ergometer at home because now it's sometimes necessary to get a session faster. Not go to the old house and anything. But it's because of the family. I switched some sessions so it can be like half an hour down in the basement and back on the
family time.
It's all back. I come back.
Oh, is that you need the rest of the regular?
Yeah, and that's it. Inside Kayak Pro. Ah, I have the Old Danube.
Or that you
It's a Hungarian brand,
Oh, okay.
and I really like it because you can set up a lot of things, and for me it feels the most like kayaking in the water. But it's still not kayaking. But in kayaking, because in kayaking you need the feeling for the water at the end. But you can do some endurance and everything. You can do on the ergometer, but you have to transmit it at least. It's not to do on the ergometer just before the competition and then just sit in the boat and go. It would not fit.
all the new Hungarian you don't even have a part.
But I had a lot like I had the Danish, I had this one, I had.
Okay, so
I tried.
let's have time for 2 more questions. Okay? Anybody who would like to get the last question?
So I think for most of us after a few years, our speed and progress starts to stagnate, and like it is very very hard to even cut half a second. So how do you like keep yourself motivated to even keep going if your timings are not like going down or getting any faster?
Actually, as you see, the time I'm getting slower since 2019, and they always compare me with the time of the 1:35 minutes. So that's hard, but I know what's the normal time, or let's say it's like the goal is always 1:40 or something like that. And I know the 5 seconds below, or like a different time. But I know the 5 seconds below, they are really related to like hard training. You have to train for every second, like 2 or 3 months. And it just works out like the days before the competition. And it's not, if you go faster than that, it's not the daily business. That's the hard work. It's for me to get half a second faster, it's like the half of a year training. So now I did like at least just the half the training of the season I've done before, and I was slower, maybe 1 or 1.5 seconds. But you can see it. It was, if you check it from the side, you think I didn't train at all. So but I did still train a lot, but it was at least these are like small steps. So check out small progresses. So for example in the gym, like maybe 5 kilos more or something like that, and for the running is even easier to set up new times for the swimming or whatever. So just like also set up goals and put them like in like that high that you also can reach them. So not put them. For me, I didn't put this year the time for the K1500 in the 1:35 because I know it's not gonna happen, and I'm gonna be mad when I set the goal that higher, and now I couldn't reach it. So the goal was to go under 1:40 or under 1:38, and I already close got it. So it was like also a goal or still a success for me, let's say. But at the end, or at this level, it's so much training for less effort from the outside. That's it.
Thank you very much. Yes, I think we have last question over there. Before the question, sorry, just for anyone, because now everyone is listening, so I had to use this opportunity for two things. One is to thank them for coming here, sacrificing some time. But because of that, I would like to ask you again. I want to use videos with my kids, and I want to protect the privacy of the family. So you can share those when the kids are not old, but please don't share those with where the kids are home. So it's just, I mean, you are very lucky to have this opportunity. So those who are here deserve to have this. Those who are not, you can miss some feelings. It's fine. And then one more thing, if you enjoy this, please use the QR code to have us here. And then now the last question.
What's the secret to do the last 100 or the last 200 meters really fast? Like longer stroke, shorter stroke, shorter time? Well, what's the secret?
Sure, time.
Okay.
It's maybe the happiness to have less than 200 meters until the finish line. I think because it's only like then at least only 30 seconds in the race. Yeah, maybe sometimes it's like that. So if you're standing on the 1000 and you know it's gonna be 30 minutes, it's a long time. So if you are in the last 30 seconds, you just can say, okay, just put everything out which you can find on the power in the corners of your body. Just put it all out and have fun. And maybe it's increasing the stroke rate and yeah, try to maybe move a bit more the arms and try to move as fast as possible. But for me, it's like increasing the stroke rate and to put it like the power in once and then increasing the stroke rate and then just keep it. And looking for the power somewhere in the body, like there's something, and you have to start it if it's the best as the first one in the field of all the competitors. Otherwise, then you can get in front. If you do it as a least, maybe they also start it, and you cannot get or take the win. So it's like sometimes you have to. Be self-confident and start the last 200 first, or even if you are in front, even if you have just the heat, and try to do the plan in the final, but you have to drive before. So don't do it lazy in the heat and in the semi, and then think it's gonna be easy in the final. I always go on the heat and so in the first rounds on the heat and the semi. Still in that plans, I plan it to do in the final. So I'm not the friend or the friend of that thinking to leave 3 or 2 person in the tank. Just go smaller, slower and easier. I always want to win or test the strategy of the race of the final, or which I plan to live.
Is the stroke shorter, longer, same, or?
A bit shorter, I guess.
Okay.
So thank you, Tom. Thanks, Lori. Tom brought us some cards. His signature is on it. For everyone, those who are here. We should take a picture together as well. And if you want signature, I guess we are happy to